Hello, readers. Welcome to 20 Questions with Your Favorite Author, where we ask authors important questions like, why would you agree to be on this podcast? I'm Kelly Lynn Colby, editorial director at Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing. Our guest tonight is Frank Morin, author of fast-paced, grab you by the eyeballs, and don't let go adventures. Frank loves great stories, great food, and great humor. He and his wife are often found hiking and camping, scuba diving, or traveling to research new books. If he's not your favorite now, he will be after. Excellent. Welcome,
Right.
Frank. Welcome. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. Thank you very much.
Nice. Well, this
Glad
is your
to be here.
Well, we're glad we could get you in because I know we had to Alex Rath, who is going to be on at the end of the month, switched with you, and we are so grateful for him. So we do want to give him a shout out.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
And we switched because you have something very exciting to announce. Can you tell us what it is you're working on right now?
Sure, absolutely. Last week, I launched my first Kickstarter, which is one of those crazy things that you really look forward to, even though it's nuts and it consumes your life for months. I'm super excited about it because it's for my latest book, humorous fantasy called Bacon Master of the Apocalypse. And it's in a world where food fuels magic. You've got the gods of the Pantheon, and they have their different guilds of magic, cheese wizards, muffin mages, bacon masters, etc. And just a super fun world. It's very epic and also just so funny because, I mean, you get food puns and food humor, all over the place.
I mean, what more could you ask for? Most of my entertainment is involved with food. I mean, this book's right up my alley.
Yes. It's been well received. I mean, a lot of people are very excited about it. We're just kind of getting the Kickstarter really ramping up and, hoping to hit our numbers. And with the Kickstarter, we're going to do a very cool leather special edition leather hardcover, which is going to be gorgeous. Yes.
That sounds great. And Zafo just put the link in the chat. So anyone interested wants to go on and have fun. I just want you to know the chat very much appreciates the Patreon.
Yes, so that should tell you a lot right there. We've got muffin mage gods and all the different gods and the god of disgusting foods and just all of that's in there.
Disgusting foods like steamed broccoli, like what?
Yeah, steamed broccoli is probably in there. Tripe, olives, some types of mushrooms.
Olives are delicious. What is wrong with you?
I have tried to love olives my entire life. My wife loves them, and they destroy me. So they're in there. Yeah.
You're like, it's my world and disgusting foods are how I define them. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So yeah, it's a great time. So, and the different types of magic, the different guilds of magic, they have their different powers, right? The cheese wizards work in curses and poisons and acids, and muffin mages have exploding cakes and burning muffins and illumination pastries and all kinds of stuff.
That's so fun.
Milk mages, they do healing, so they have healing whipped cream and trauma yogurt and just on and on. Coffee wizards, do specialty brews that will enhance your energy and your stamina and things like that. We got confectioners.
What about like alcohol?
Alcohol's in there. That's the god no one really.
Are they the god of good time?
Gods of good time, absolutely. So yeah, there's just all kinds of different stuff out there. Confectioners with their addicting sugars. We have the scene where there's some sugar addicts, out there stumbling around looking for a fix.
I feel them. They're my people.
Yes. And of course, bacon masters. Our main character is a bacon master, Rasher Dilskin. He can channel the awesomeness of bacon for superhuman enhancements. Makes him a pretty much unstoppable warrior. Except
if you have like candy bacon, can they like combine their powers?
Well, they can't combine their powers. So he can eat candy bacon and stuff, but he can only get the bacon part of it. And then The best magic is cooked slowly in advance. They have their different levels of recipes, and they have chefs who can take the different magical foods and combine them to enhance one aspect of the magic, because the different gods don't necessarily get along. So,
Oh, for sure.
you might have cheesy lasagna or something that could enhance, the cheese magic, or the pasta magic, or the meat magic, just depending on how they cook it and what, their focus is for that meal.
So
Um,
interesting.
so yeah,
Did you come up with this concept one day when you were starving?
that was probably part of it. But in my other series,
Mhm.
my young adult epic fantasy series, the Petrolist, starting with Set in Stone, there's one character that everyone has come to really love. Like, he's one of the most popular characters I think I've ever written. And
Mhm.
he's a real kind of a goofball, and his character arc throughout the series is amazing. But he's all about food. So he's always like pulling, kind of sketchy, questionable stuff out of his pockets and trying to share it around. And he's always eating something or sucking on something. Like, he puts rocks in his mouth, which ends up being a big deal. Um, but by the end of the series, he's becoming like this international food diplomat that's bringing countries and civilizations together through recipes and stuff. And
I
so
love
he's
that.
all about food, and he's very funny. And I was like, let's take the good things from that and let's
It
put
just
it over here, and then let's just turn up the temperature and take it to the nth degree. So that was one of the things that kind of helped kick it off. And then somewhere the word Bacon Master came out, and we're like, well, um, got to go with that.
you're like, this has to happen.
Yes.
Well,
And
so bacon, like, is it different powers if he cooks it? Because he's got like the nice cast iron pan on the cover, right? So
yes.
is he at different powers if he does it on the cast iron than if he like does it in the oven? Because as far as I'm concerned, I have my own preference, and Zafo has a completely separate preference from mine.
Mm.
Like,
Well, it's
does
interesting because you can get different abilities, or different, I guess, magnitudes of power depending on
Mhm,
how it's cooked, who cooks it.
mhm,
But also, you've got, crispy bacon versus chewy bacon, and different
mhm.
types of bacon will affect him differently. And then you've got, evil turkey bacon that, you don't want to go there. Um, so, so yeah, all that stuff plays an important role. And of course, Rasher Dilskin, he's also kind of an adrenaline junkie. So he's always looking to do crazy things. Um,
With all that
but
bacon, I mean, he's got to keep it up. Do they use
yes,
the bacon? Does he have to consume it?
he has to consume it.
Ah, nice. Okay, there you go.
Other types of magic they just use, like if you have
Mhm,
a muffin mage who's created, a 7-tier exploding cake, which are very dangerous,
mhm.
you're not going to eat that because that's going to just go bad.
Right. Yeah,
Those aren't the cakes you
that's not a
eat.
good idea.
Those are the cakes that they pack into a catapult and then launch it, and for a huge explosion and stuff.
That is
That's
a
just a
lot of work just to throw it at a wall. I don't think I'm into that. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, but that's a big explosion.
It's true. That's
And
true.
then you've got, vegetable shamans. And I've got this one cool scene where there's like this big battle going on, and you got these 3 vegetable shamans like over a little portable grill, just grilling up, some broccoli or something. Like, hold on a minute. And then they throw it over the wall. They're like, take cover. It's this big explosion, it's just awesome.
It's so fun. That has to be so fun to write. Has this been like the
Like,
most fun write that you've done so far?
oh yeah, I mean, it's been a blast because, if I start feeling tired or something, I'm just thinking, what other crazy food thing could we do right now? And then I go look up, disgusting foods, or, think about, what happens if somebody sits on an exploding cake. I mean, or whatever, or like the cheese wizards, because they're the patrons of lawyers. Things just go well with lawyers. And just, how, we have one thing where there's this contract that has a big problem, and, the cream cheese clause is invoked, and it's a big deal. You're not gonna cross that one. That's not one of the contracts you say no to.
Food competition takes on a whole new light in your world.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Zafo's trying to do fancy stuff. What are you doing, Zafo? Stop. We can see everything you're doing. Um, the Spikeette wants to know, is Bacon Master available now?
The Kickstarter is,
Hmm.
so you can get on the Kickstarter. It's And there's a bunch of different backer tier levels. We have the ebook, we have the audiobook, we have the standard hardcover, we have, the special exclusive leather hardcover package where you get everything. And then there's a couple of other higher tiers. Once the Kickstarter's done and we figure out what we can fund, then we're going to go and produce it. So, people will probably have it in their hands by summertime, trying to get that out as quick as we can. But I'll have to share what the leather hardcover looks like. I don't know if I sent you that file. It's going to be beautiful.
Sweet. Well, we've got the Kickstarter up, so they can always go there and see it too, right? You've got a picture up there.
Absolutely. Yes. And it's right in there. So yeah, please take a look and spread the word. Trying to get the word out about that one. But I can tell you briefly kind of the storyline of Bacon Master.
Is this a standalone or is it a series?
No, it's the first in series.
Okay.
I've almost finished with the editing for book 1. Book 2, which I don't have a working, an actual good title for yet. The first draft is finished, so I need to finish edits on that. Book 3 is planned out, but I haven't written it yet, so I got to get that done in a couple months. So we'll have definitely the first trilogy, written and finished this year. It'll just be a question of when we can get the books out, the Kickstarter, and then if it's popular, which I think it will be, we'll explore other aspects of the world and go to higher recipes or something.
I love it. Well, I know, like your hat, you are famous for your hat at writer events, right? We see you at a convention or anything. All we have to do is find your hat and we see Frank. So Mike, and you're not exactly short. So we can find you, we can find that hat, right? So we see you. And on the cover, he's also your main character, the Bacon Master, is also wearing a hat and he has bacon in it. So I'm wondering, are you going to add bacon to your hat when you go to sell books?
I may. I'm considering it. And in Bacon Master, hats are very important. It's like for cultural and religious reasons. They have ridiculous hats. I mean, the warriors tend to have less, like the coffee wizard, he's got like his big coffee carafe there on his hat.
Interesting.
And other people have the one woman, her name is Kuchiza. She's a meat mage, and kind of missed her calling there. But she has like a tricorn hat with the sides sweep back and like end up in like wings and stuff. Rasher at the beginning of the book, his favorite hat, his Bacon Master hat, is a golden frying pan shaped hat.
Oh,
super cool. But then he changes jobs and he has to start finding the right hat. But hats are a big deal. And like high society. Think about like the craziest Kentucky Derby hat you've ever seen, and then multiply it by 7.
Okay, I have a serious question.
Okay.
So you are married. You've been married how many years?
27.
I was going to say a couple decades, right? So almost 3 decades. Yeah. Okay. So when your wife hears about this book, does she laugh or does she roll her eyes?
Oh, she loves it. She's throwing out food puns all the time. She's like, "Hey, Frank, like the other day they were like, we need somebody who's lactose intolerant. Because we got milk mages and that's healing, but I haven't worked that in there yet, but I've got an idea of how I can put in there." Of course,
they can't heal me.
Because my son who came up, we were talking about it with my wife and our youngest who's still at home, and I think he was the one who came up with the term lactose incompetent, and it's a totally different thing. So sometimes the funny words come out, and I just wrote a note like someone has to be lactose incompetent. I don't know how that's going to look yet, but I'm working on it.
It'll come to you. That's hilarious.
So yeah, my whole family are huge fans, and they're definitely invested in it.
That's so funny. You've got to appreciate that when the family likes what you are doing. And I know last time when you were on before, like it was like almost 2 years ago now, we talked about Set in Stone, and that series is complete now, right?
It is.
It is. So and then who's the audience for that one?
Titles. What's that?
Who's the audience? You said it was YA fantasy, right?
Yeah, it's young adult fantasy. So it's, teens or anyone who's young at heart. That one is, it's a big epic read, but it's also got a lot of humor in there and really cool magic based on rocks. And I have a lot of fans who are adults because they like reading young adult fantasy,
For sure.
And so it's got a pretty wide audience.
That's
and as far as, kids reading it, pretty much I figure once they can read Harry Potter, they can start reading the Petrolist.
Excellent. That's great. So is this like a noble bright? Like, does it make you feel good at the end, or do you like kill everyone?
No, I mean, they go through some crazy stuff, let me tell you.
Well, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm an optimist, so I don't write grim, dark stuff where
Good.
everybody dies or, in the end, at least one of the heroes is still alive and, moves on to a better life.
To a better
Hopefully.
life, right? Otherwise, what's the point? Why are we reading these? I'm with you.
Yeah, either that or their mind's broken and they've just been convinced that it's better while they're living in a hole. Not usually when I write. I usually write optimistic stories. So at some point, somehow, the good guys are going to win. Spoiler alert.
Good. No, that's not a spoiler. That's comforting. Sometimes we need that, right? So it's not like I never read grimdark, but sometimes you really need that. I just need to feel good right now,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Life's hard enough. I don't need to, stab the characters in the heart for no good reason.
Right.
At least one does get stabbed in the heart.
I was going to say, but if there is a good reason, that's different. Yeah. Yes.
There's definitely a reason. But in both the Petrolist and the Face Takers, which is my other series that's done, that's my urban fantasy. There have been times when I've just kind of thrown my pen down and gotten up and I'm like, that's it. They're all dead. There's no way.
This is never going to work. I can't get them out of this.
Yeah. And then my wife's like, it's okay. They have time. They'll figure it out. It's like, and then I come up with a good idea and, they figure it out. Hopefully, maybe.
Well, that's what they always say, right? Our characters tend to be smarter than we are because we actually have time. They think of it right away, but we've got time to actually work through it. So,
they're brilliant. I love them. They're heroes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, no, they thought of that right away. See how good they are? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
On your bio, it says that you love to travel. And I'm pretty sure, didn't you just a few months ago go like on an international trip? And it all went smoothly, right?
Yeah, it was, when's the last trip we did? I think the last big trip we did was Scotland. It was a couple of years ago. And we've done a lot of other less international travel. Actually, no, last summer we went to Tahiti.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't there one? There was something like you sent your family off to paradise and you went and toured government offices or something?
Yeah, that's one of those memories I keep trying to bury and it keeps coming back. But yeah, we were all going to Tahiti. What a crazy memory. And I made sure to get my son an updated passport because his was expiring. I'm like, yes, I'm a good dad. And we get in the security line to leave for Tahiti. And I hand my passport to the agent. They're like, oh, do you have another form of ID? This is expired. And it's like getting punched in the gut. It's like, what? So all the family's like, see you, Dad. And but of course, that was a Friday afternoon. The next day was
okay. Saturday. Government offices are open all weekend. It's fine.
No, they were closed Saturday. They were closed Sunday. Monday was some stupid wannabe holiday like Juneteenth or something, and nobody even knows what it is, except for government workers. They're like, yeah, it's a day off. So they weren't open Monday. Tuesday, I showed up at the passport office in San Francisco. I flew down there. I'm like in there in the morning, and they're like, oh, you have to get on our website that no one can get onto, and you have to have an appointment. Like I even talked my way into seeing one of the agents, and she's like, oh, where's your appointment? I was like, I'm right here. Just stamp my stupid passport. And they're like, no.
Please just.
And then they kicked me out, and they're like, get back on the, on the website. And there was no way to get a passport. They just would not help me. Ended up. It's really funny because actually my mom, who lives in Maine, like called my state senator, and I ended up getting a call from the senator's office from one of their aides, like, how can we help you?
Good for you, Mom. Holy moly.
Nothing like being 50 years old and having your mom save you.
No, I think that's wonderful. That needs to end up in a book somewhere. Yeah.
And so they got me. I had to fly to Seattle from San Francisco because they had an emergency spot open in Seattle. Got into Seattle, got my passport, like 2 hours. It's not a big deal, right? When you go to the office, but they make it a big deal. And then I rushed back to the airport to fly back down to San Francisco to get my flight to Tahiti. And somehow when I booked that flight, it booked me for the next day. And so I almost couldn't fly back down to San Francisco because the booking changed the date. Oh my gosh. Finally got down, I got on the plane, did the all-nighter to Tahiti. and got there just in time to go do an all-day trip with my family. So
Oh
it was
my
nuts.
gosh.
It was nuts. So yeah, great trip.
I want to say here's the reason I bring up this story is not just to embarrass you. I mean, that's also part of it, so it's fun. But that
Yes.
is the real reason is the only reason I know about it is because you're posting on Facebook, right? And I
Oh
have to
yeah.
say the whole time I'd be like, have fun in Tahiti. I'm going to bed. Like I wouldn't have even, I would have been like, nope, I'm out. My bad, I'm out. I can't do it. But just to see your determination and your quite frankly positive attitude, because I'm sure inside you were fuming between being mad at that there's stuff you have to go through to do it and mad
Oh
at
yeah.
yourself for forgetting and mad at like so all of the but like the face you put out to the rest of the world, it just made me hopeful for humanity. I just
Thank you. I'm
it's
glad
pretty
my
impressive. Your pain,
terrible child can make you that happy.
it
Sorry, my
did.
dogs just came in.
So just know your
Oh
suffering
God.
benefited some of us.
I don't know if you can see them. There they are. They come in.
Oh,
My
they're like,
dogs
no,
come
no, I'm
in.
not camera ready.
Oh,
They were
there he
walking
is.
away.
Hey, Toby. Toby, sit. Sit. Let me see if I can show you real quick.
Okay, let's see. Look, go baby.
There they are.
Oh, they're so pretty. Look at
Good.
them.
Good. Yes, you are.
Oh,
All right, go lie down. Go on. Go lie
they're like,
down.
no, no, we love you now, Dad. We're never leaving. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. All right. Sorry for the interruption.
No, dogs are, we immediately get a boost in ratings when you bring animals on. We
Oh
probably
yeah,
should just make that a requirement. If you're going to be on, you must bring an animal.
that would be a good
Um,
idea.
no, so thank
Yeah,
you. So I
that
just
was.
want to know, I'm so sorry you had to suffer and go through that, but
Oh my
seriously,
gosh.
I was
Yeah.
just like, wow, Frank, I am so impressed. So impressed.
Thank
So,
you. So yeah,
yeah.
if anyone's planning to go on a trip, double check your passports.
Yeah, holy moly.
Yeah,
No,
trust me.
good for you. Um, yeah, I went on my first international trip since I was a kid for our 25th wedding anniversary. So Zafo and I went
Oh,
to
wow.
Belize and I was terrified about the passport. So it was pretty
Good
funny.
job. I haven't been to Belize yet. I've been to many places, but I haven't been there yet. It's on my list.
I'm glad I went. I've always wanted to go, but I'm telling you, we went the wrong season. Do not go in December. It was not pretty. There
Yeah.
wasn't a whole lot of wildlife out. It was just not the, we should have waited and gone like in March. Like this right now, it's supposed to be really pretty and the whale sharks will be in and all that
Oh,
kind of stuff.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Hmm.
When we went to Tahiti, we went diving. We brought the kids scuba diving, and
Nice.
there's this local pod of dolphins that likes to come in and get their fin scratched. Like
Oh,
the only place in the world they do that. And so we're just swimming along, and all of a sudden these enormous dolphins come in. I mean, they're cute and everything, but they are
but they're
huge when you see
big.
them,
Yeah.
10, 12 feet long. And they come in and they come on right in front of you and just kind of throw their arms out like, love me. And so you scratch them, and their skin is like, it's kind of like rubber. It's
Hmm.
super cool. And you scratch them for a minute, and then they just kind of drift past, and then they swim around, and oh, it was fantastic.
That
I
is
told kids,
so
I'm like, you
cool.
guys are so spoiled. It was some of their first dives, and they got the pet dolphins in the wild. It's like, oh my gosh,
It's quite an encounter. Quite an encounter.
yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah. So where have you not been yet that you really need to visit?
Well, that's a good question. We haven't been to Ireland yet.
Oh, okay.
And I really want to go to Ireland. We've
Hmm.
we've been to Scotland. We did that a couple years ago, and that was
Hmm.
fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, we've been to Egypt and to China and Istanbul briefly, all doing
Oh,
for
I want to
research.
do
And
Istanbul very badly.
that was
Yes,
so
that's high on
fun.
the list.
That was so
Egypt
fun.
too. Yeah, yeah.
And in Istanbul, we went and we had a layover coming back. I think it was from coming back from Egypt,
Hmm.
and we're like, let's just extend that 24 hours. So 24 hours in
Yeah,
Istanbul,
why not?
which isn't a lot of time, but we took it.
Hmm.
And one of the things we did was a Turkish bath, which is super cool,
How
you know,
fun.
because you go in there and, the girls go one way, the guy goes the other way. And
Hmm.
then, I walked into this huge domed room, and they had like this huge, like granite slab, all like with water on it and hot water on and everything. It's like 20 feet across. And you
Holy
just sit on that
moly.
and soak. And then they do the different washing and everything. And I got a massage, and the guy there is just like, rah, rah. And oh my gosh. I was like, "Mm." And he's like, pain? I said, yes, it hurts a lot. He's like, good,
Good.
pain, good. And I was like, "Whew." um,
But you slept good on the plane home.
oh my gosh, it was a great massage, man. He worked all the kinks out of there. But it was funny. Later, I was doing one of the rounds of washing or showering or whatever, and I
Mhm.
hear some guy kind of in the massage area going, "Ah!" And like, "You didn't break me, pal." Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We're
it's
like, boom. Yeah, I survived the masseuse. Um,
I don't think that's what you're supposed to do with the masseuse, survive it.
yeah. So yeah, that was a memorable trip.
Oh, I love that, I love that. So what in all of these travels and all these life experience, like, you have lived, which is wonderful to hear. So, how is there any specific moment you can remember that you have brought into your books that you've actually done in real life?
Oh, all kinds of stuff. We did
Mhm.
a lot of the travel we did was for the books. So my Face Takers, especially, that's an urban fantasy thriller that kind of jumps all around the world and also
Nice.
back into history. So we visited, a lot
Mm.
of these different cultures, so we could get a sense of the culture and a sense of the history and kind of sprinkle that in everywhere we could.
Mhm.
Uh, the characters are in Rome quite a bit. So we've been to Rome a couple times and we went, through Umbria and all that area. We went to, there's a little country inside of Rome that's not the Vatican. It's another little country called San Marino. It's like 20 square miles. And so in the books, the
It's
characters end up
inside Rome?
no, it's like out, it's way up like in the northeast part
Oh,
of the
it's in
country.
Italy. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, okay.
It's in it. Did I say in Rome? It's in Italy.
Yes, but that's okay. All
Uh,
right, I gotcha. All right.
Sorry. So we drove all the way to San Marino, and it's up on this, picturesque, gorgeous hilltop. And the characters in the book go to San Marino, so I had to go to San Marino, and it was super awesome. And a few years ago, we took a couple of the kids to New Zealand, and just the scenery is fantastic. So some of
Mhm.
that gets worked into some of the books, like the Petrolus books. There's a lot of stones and mountains and all that stuff, and that fit right in.
Mhm.
So yeah, I try to fit a lot of that in there. Um, then we go to places like Pittsburgh or something, and those are kind of dark moments in the books when we go. You know,
Literally and figuratively.
yes. Um, so we try to bring that reality, into the different stories we write. Absolutely.
I love it. No better way to bring it to life than to have actually have lived it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So for Bacon Master, we've been
Mhm.
exploring all these different recipes. Like I've been looking at bacon recipes, and there's some really, I mean, some people are definitely bacon masters in the real world. So
Mhm.
I salute them because I've been using their recipes.
Yeah, pork
Uh,
belly is everywhere right now, like you can just any kind of use of pork belly.
oh yeah, it's amazing.
Mhm.
So we've done,
Mhm.
bacon wrapped cheese sticks. That was a good one. And my son just found a really cool recipe that he wants to try. It'll probably kill me, but we may try it. It was like a whole stack of like cheese squares, and you cut the middle out, and then you wrap it all the way around with like a full pound of bacon, and then bake that, and then eat it and die with a smile on your face. It's like heartburn on a stick,
Yeah.
um, but super cool. Another one we want to try. You take like uh like sugar cones, ice cream cones, and wrap
Mhm.
it in bacon and then bake it. Then you take the cone out, so the bacon's in like the cone
Cone
shape,
shape.
and
Uh-huh.
fill it with like a cheese mixture, and then you can dip with that and then eat the cone when you're done.
Well, at
Super cool.
least put mashed potatoes in there. I mean, you gotta have something besides bacon and cheese. Like we do pork loin wrapped in bacon. That's our most regular use besides just eating bacon is we'll wrap
Uh-huh.
we'll wrap pork loin in it. It's really good.
Oh,
Because
sure.
pork loin's so lean. So adding that
Hmm.
fat from the bacon really rounds it out. It's really delicious.
Oh, sure. And there's
Mhm.
another recipe I saw recently. It was like chicken, like take a big chicken breast and then
Mhm.
like they cut like diagonal cuts through it, and then they
Mhm.
put like a piece of cheese in and a tomato and like bacon in there, and then they
Yeah.
put a sauce over it. And then I think they covered it with like a bacon weave or something, and then bake that. It was like, oh, we got to eat that one for sure. That one looked good.
The cholesterol will be fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
It's
we're
great.
totally
Yeah.
good. I'll go for a
Totally
walk with the
good.
dogs tomorrow. That's
That's
right.
right. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Who cares? It's bacon. Heck, we would eat a lot more bacon if it wasn't so expensive. Holy
yeah.
moly, did it get
Mhm.
expensive over the last like few years? It's
Right.
like, my gosh, people are complaining about eggs. They're still cheap, relatively talking. It's that bacon that's gonna knock you out.
You got that right. But
Mm.
some things are worth the price, I guess. Um,
It
so yeah,
doesn't go to
bacon
waste,
wrapping.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so it's been fun, and we've been collecting recipes. One of the things we hope to do with the Kickstarter, if we get enough supporters, is to open up a Bacon Master cookbook for people to buy, and to add some recipes in between different chapters is one of the goals.
Oh, that
And
would be so fun.
yeah,
From
it'd be super.
different magics, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So it'd be from different ones because each of the guilds of magic have good recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. For
so
sure.
for the milk mages, we'd have to have them discover ice cream because that's the best use of milk in the world.
It's absolutely required. It's a very
Yeah,
special magic, especially for healing. I mean, come on.
that's right. So you get ice
Mhm.
cream, and then you put whipped cream on top of that, and then you put that in a cream puff and launch it in a catapult or somebody, and you're good to go. There's this great scene in the book where like there's this big explosion near the wall, and all the milkmaids, who are the milk mages' assistants, come
Mhm.
running out, and they have these quick quick dispenser thing contraptions that are preloaded with all these giant like head-sized cream puffs filled with whipped cream, healing whipped cream, and so they're like launching them down there, down in the plaza, just hitting everybody with these cream puffs, and they're exploding with whipped cream all over them. And they're like,
And
yeah,
healing them?
and healing them. People are like
Oh,
rolling
okay,
in
that's
the
cool.
cream and trying to heal their wounds, and it was pretty awesome. It's like, get the
Yeah.
yogurt. Um,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna
super
say
fun.
whipped cream's definitely healing for sure.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the smoked bacon fatty. Yeah, Zafo, you should put up that recipe. That one is, I don't know if you've seen that one before. It's like sausage wrapped in bacon, and then like smoked and then barbecued with barbecue sauce. Like it's madness.
I'd
So
love to
he,
see that one.
yeah,
So check.
he put the link up in the chat, but I'll send it to you too if you're, I don't know if you're watching Twitch or not.
I'm
But
not on
I'll
Twitter.
send you.
I had so
Yeah.
much trouble getting on here. I didn't have time to get
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Nope, you're great. You're wonderful. We're just glad that you were here. We're so glad you're here.
Yes.
Um,
So I can tell you like the premise of the story, in addition to
mhm,
just the guilds of magic.
mhm.
Um, so Rasher Dilskin is our bacon master, and he like I said, he can channel bacons or some pretty cool stuff, but he faints at the sight of blood, which is kind of a
So he's
problem.
not butchering or making his own bacon then.
No, he's not.
You would
Although
think that should be part of the magic.
he grew up. His family are big meat merchants, so he grew
Oh,
up
okay.
around the
He's
butchering
got
and all that
sources.
stuff. But for
Yeah.
whatever reason, which we'll have to explore, he faints at the sight of blood. And he's trying to build up his career and keep that secret and get permission to marry his true love, who's a high noble woman. But he's chosen to lead this team known as the Reapers of the Apocalypse. It's an elite team that are supposed to lead the legions to fight off the ravening hordes of the apocalypse that are threatening to destroy the empire. He's given a quirky little team that have their own problems, and nobody believes they can say breakfast, let alone the empire. So they got to figure out how to work together, whip up some new recipes, and get their battle cuisine in array because the monsters are coming. And just super fun.
I
Great,
love
great
it.
story.
I love it. No, it sounds lots of
So,
fun. Ever since you first put up that cover, before I think you even had the first draft completely written, I was like, what is this thing? This is awesome. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So for your covers, because you are indie published, right? So you
yeah,
have full choice in your covers. Do you have like
yes.
an artist that you have in mind? Do you make them yourself? Like, where do these covers come from?
Well, I have different artists for each of my series. And
Hmm.
for Bacon Master, there's an artist down in Argentina named Luciano Fleitas, and he made the covers for my friend Matt Dinneman, who does the Dungeon Crawler Carl lit RPG books, which are very popular right now. Um, and
I
they're
can
they're
see
super
crossover
cool.
with audience. That makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I just really liked his covers. So I reached
Hmm.
out to Matt, like, who did your covers? He says, oh, here's his link, reach out to him through Messenger. So I did, and boom, we were starting to talk about different ideas. And he said, in my head, I totally had this Teen Titans sort of, or Attack of the Titans sort of vibe going. And we ended up, zeroing in on that one. And he did a fantastic job. He's a great artist.
Love it. So technology in this world, is it like medieval technology? Like we're at
Yeah,
that level? Yeah.
it's mostly medieval, but they have some upgrades. They have some
Mhm.
food upgrades. They have a train that is powered by food magic called the Sugar and Spice Express.
Oh,
And
now that would smell good. You could smell it
yes,
coming, man. Yeah. I like
and
that.
they've got some long distance communication. They're called garlic towers. They basically can shout Because garlic gets you noticed, you know?
Oh, it does. It
Yes.
does. And again,
And
after
so they get,
being, married as long as we have, I don't apologize for garlic breath anymore.
you
Mhm.
get to that point, you know,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
get
big
to that point.
milestone.
The
Yeah,
food was good. We're happy now. It's fine.
absolutely.
It's
So it's
okay.
one of the things you ask, you know, have you reached that garlic stage in your relationship? And,
Yes,
you
it's a
know,
checkpoint. Hmm.
that's right.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Um, so yeah, it's been funny. I've been using speaking of art, I've been using
Hmm.
the Midjourney AI art
Hmm.
um, to generate some art for my story. Like I've created the gods of the Pantheon for you know, all the different guilds of magic. I have their gods, right? And we've
Uh,
created, you know, these marble statue of different gods, and most of them turned out pretty good. Um, so I've been playing with that quite a bit lately too, and that's been a blast.
that's pretty fun. And you can
Yeah,
like cut them out. What are the electronic cutting things that I'm gonna forget their name right
like
now?
3D printing or something.
Yes, that's
Yes,
it. That would be
I am
fun.
looking into doing some 3D printing of the different characters, and
Hmm.
um, my artist Luciano, he did my character sketches for my five main characters, and I got someone to do some a little bit of animation on them. They just like a close up of the face, and you know, like they turn and blink and stuff, and they did a really good job. So I just started posting that in various places and trying to do a lot of fun stuff like that.
It's when you know you made it, when you're starting to get fan art.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
It's like it's official. We're getting fan art now. I am now
Right.
truly have an audience
I'm not the
someday.
only one. I'm not the only one making my own fan art. So
Well, I mean, if we're not fans, why would anyone else like
that's
it,
right.
right?
I'm my own biggest fan.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, when I'm
that's
working on some of my books, sometimes I'll have to go back to a previous book to look at things to just make sure that I'm consistent, and then I get
mhm.
sucked in like, oh, this is so good, you know. And
I
then
am
my wife,
awesome. I am awesome. It
then my
helps.
wife will walk in and she'll be like, "Are you reading your books again?" No,
No idea
no,
what you're talking about, sweetheart.
I'm doing research. I'm doing consistency editing. Um, so
No, my
yeah,
husband would walk in and say, "You're not playing Uno on your phone again, are you?" No, I'm totally working. I am not playing Uno on
totally
my
not.
phone. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got to write Uno into a book, and then you'd be like, "I'm doing
It's
research." Sorry.
research. It's
Yep.
strategy.
I've been on TikTok this year trying to figure that out. So Jenny is
Same.
my wife. Like, are you wasting time on TikTok? Again, no, I'm doing research. This is market research.
How
And
many
so
times has it told you to get off?
I don't listen to that.
But it's told you, hasn't it? See? No,
No, no,
Zafo, don't
no,
look at me like that. For the
no.
record, audience, Zafo is giving me a look because I have seen like all of their warnings. They're not even real people anymore. Now it's just like thumbs that have fallen off. They're like, "Isn't your thumb tired? Give it a break." And I'm like, "Fuck!" Like, like I've been on this way too long. What
No.
was I thinking?
As soon as you said that, I was thinking Clouseau from the Pink Panther. You know, the more recent one. He's like, "We do not quit. We do not quit." Um, I think it was when he was getting his English lessons. She's like, "I think we need to take a break because you suck." He's like, "No, we do not quit." And for some reason, that came to mind. So
No,
yeah,
no. There
keep
was
going.
one day we knew I was super, super stressed because I told Zafe, I'm like, I got off TikTok and I didn't even see the warning. He's like, "What? Are you feeling okay? What's going on today? Is there something I should know?" Yeah, it's bad. Look, man, ADHD people should not get on TikTok. But it's great for
No,
book marketing, like you said. So it's kind of like it's really and then of course when you post something on TikTok, then it shows you a video while it's
okay.
posting. And I'm like, I can't even look away. What am I supposed to do? It's the
I feel your
worst.
pain. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the worst.
I have a good book you should read.
You're,
It helps.
you're
Yeah,
gonna give me a book to read? I'll take it.
absolutely.
Can I call it procrastination? Um,
Yeah,
it's research. It's gonna help me.
I do a lot in the name of research.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I
I
got to
need
go
to
cook some.
travel more for research. Apparently, you've got this down better
Yes.
than I have.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
you
need to
have
make this
to.
happen. Mhm.
We're going to Italy again in March, later this month,
Oh,
with our youngest son who's
mhm.
graduating from high school,
That's
and
awesome.
I'm doing some more research. He's going because he wants his senior trip or whatever, but I'm doing research,
Mhm.
and I'm going to go to in Rome. We've been to the Colosseum and a bunch of different stuff. I'm going to Palatine Hill, which I haven't really explored well in the past. It's up near the
Okay.
Colosseum. I
Okay.
have a scene in there in one of my books, but I want to make sure I got it right. So I got to go check it out.
Sounds fair. And if you didn't, you
I
can
love,
change it. No big deal.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, me too. A lot. I mean, I have an entire series based off a statue I found in a, little eclectic store, right? Like, so it's just weird the things that'll just spark it off, right?
Sure.
Yep. Friday says that we are a great team. We are a great team, Dante. Dante is Friday's son, so it's really fun.
Nice.
All right. Now we have very important questions we ask in this podcast. We're going to get to the lightning round real quick. First, since we did talk about ice cream, but I didn't ask you, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
I have two, I'll say.
Okay.
One is just like classic vanilla bean.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Fair.
I also
Goes
like
great with bacon.
There's a Ben and Jerry's flavor. We used to live in Vermont and love Ben and Jerry's. One of their flavors I can't get very often.
Mm-hmm.
It's called coconut almond fudge chip, and that one was
Ooh,
very good.
that
So it was
does
like a
sound
vanilla
yummy.
ice cream with a coconut flavor,
Mhm.
and then it was just filled with all kinds of love.
Yeah, coconut, chocolate, and almonds. I mean, that's part of heaven right there.
And there was like brownies or something in there too. It was really good.
For sure. Can zombies climb?
Not in a world where people want to live.
It's actually a fair answer. I like that answer. We have to be able to hide. So I have to go up the
Yes,
stairs, otherwise
hide
I'm
somewhere.
dead.
Come on.
That's fair. I like
In all the zombie dreams that I've had, I'm always like in a second story window, shooting down at them, teasing them like you can't climb, haha. So I'd just be dead like
So next
every
they're up
day.
those trellises, you're in trouble, right? It's like, nope.
Yeah, it's like that's just rude, guys.
You've had your turn. It's mine.
Yeah,
If you were a superhero, what would your sidekick's name be?
muffin.
When you need
And
the
that's
extra
just a,
energy.
and that's a private joke in our family.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, but it makes sense too because I'm a fan.
All
So
right.
if I got
And
have
then
somebody with me, it'd be somebody I really care for. So like, bring good muffin along. You're good.
I love it. So if you had to choose, would you be the hot cheese or the tortilla chip?
I'd probably be the hot cheese.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah.
Excellent. 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 Well, you were amazing, Frank. Thank you so much for coming on. And when people are so excited to see what you write, where can fans find you and your work?
Sure. You can find me on my website, frankmorin.org. You can find all my stuff on Amazon or pretty much everywhere. Most of my stuff is wide. And of course, Bacon Master right now is on Kickstarter. And you can check it out there. There's all kinds of cool artwork and the story info and all the backer levels. And, I appreciate if people would check it out and, share the word with friends who like, good fantasy and good food.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. And now that Frank is your new favorite author, please make sure to review his work. You can review us wherever it is you get your podcast. You can also subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Twitch. And we will see you next week where we have Rhiannon Hollifer on.
Great.
See you then.
Well, it's great being here. Yeah, great talking to you.